back there doing this. His is too.
Okay, we are live.
All right, we'll bring the Village of Mount Sterling Council meeting for September 26, 2022, and I noticed that our clock is no longer hanging, so I'll just wing it. It is 7:06, I think. May I have a roll call, please?
Yes, David,
Here.
Bill,
Here.
Joyce,
Here.
Becky. Here. Rob,
Here.
Andy.
Here.
All's present.
All right, can we do the honors, please?
Lord, please help our village, Lord, and touch us with your guiding hand and be for your protection. Be it for our council, be it for Andy tonight as he proceeds over this, and be it for our council and our law enforcement, Lord, and be with the ones that cannot be here because they're ill. In Jesus' wonderful, wonderful name. Amen.
To the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, may I have a motion, please, to amend the agenda?
A motion to amend the agenda?
I'll
give you that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, so
Okay,
it
Joyce.
was two people at one time, the first one. I got Bill at second.
Okay, Joyce.
Who wants to do the first?
Joyce can have it.
Joyce. We have some additional, for the public's benefit, we have some additional business we're trying to put onto the agenda, so good stuff is happening.
Right, so we are adding an ordinance 2022-17 to the agenda to be passed as an emergency.
All right,
Can I have a roll call, please, to approve the amend? David?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
And Andy?
yes.
Okay, agenda has been amended.
All right, may I have a motion to approve the minutes from the council meeting of September 12th, 2022?
Have that motion?
Thank you.
Second it.
David, Rob? Okay, roll call is David,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
and Andy.
Yes. In terms of the mayor's report tonight, I apologize, I am not the mayor, but I'm standing in, so bear with me, everybody, as we roll with the punches a little bit tonight. Mayor Darlington is, her family's hit some health speed bumps, and they're certainly in our thoughts and prayers this evening. As far as President Pro Tem report, we have been busy over the last couple of weeks since we last got together, and I'm pleased that we had a special meeting a little earlier tonight, and we'll tackle some of the budget, which we'll get into here a little bit later. And I don't want to get too far into that because we have committee reports and other things to do too. And also, we have visitors tonight. So I thought we will speed through the mayor's report and President Pro Tem report, and I'll have a great update on the next go-around next week. Okay, so you want to come on down?
If you can, everybody, and just because we're having an issue with having people here, people that don't have microphones up here, if you can please come to the podium over here and get into a microphone.
There you go.
So Misty, Tom, and Jack, that would be great if you could.
Very good, sir.
All right. Would you mind stating your name and where you live?
My name is Adam Smith. I live on 233 New Street here in town.
Yeah? All right, go forth.
I'm actually the president now of the Youth League here, and we're asking permission October 30th to have a trunk or treat at, between hours of 6 and 8. We'd like to have a bounce house present with, of course, have them sign a waiver so there's no liability on the village or the Youth League, but on the participants themselves, and possibly using the screen for a movie at the same time so they can watch it and do all the activities around the park. So that's all we would do.
That's all you'd like? Well, do I hear a motion to allow that?
I'll give that motion.
All right. Do I hear a second?
Trunk and treats.
Rob?
All right.
David?
Can we do a roll call,
Is
please?
that Rob and David?
Are you going to have it at the park?
Have it at the park.
Nice.
We love it. Love it, love it, love it. Ready when you are.
Yes, David,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Andy.
Absolutely, yes.
What date is this? October 30th.
30th, 6 to 8.
So that would be a Sunday?
Yep. That's when everyone was available at the time, so.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And they have so if you could advertise too, they have the haunted house
Going that day.
going that day too.
Okay, yeah, we'll do both for sure.
All right. You're good to go. Thank you
Thank you.
guys for stepping up and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so we do not have an executive session tonight. That means that Deputy Dill, you are next.
Well, I can't top the trunk or treat,
That's pretty hard to do.
but we will definitely have somebody out there from the sheriff's office passing out candy with you guys. I don't have much other than your nature report. Does anybody have any questions on that?
On a wanted person, did you actually find them?
Yeah, that's why it's on there.
I didn't know if it was like an investigation as to a wanted person or if you.
Well, it's just wanted person if we pick somebody up with the warrant.
Okay.
Looks like juvenile complaints gone down. Back to
Remember when I
back
told
to
you it's,
school.
it'll start slowing down?
Yeah.
Once they get settled into
That's
school?
right, yep.
Hey, Jack, I have a little question for you. I wasn't here this weekend. Helped with a little of the planning. I heard it was awesome, but, I know there was a vehicle that was left outside of where the corner restaurant used to be here.
The blue one?
It was
The pickup?
left,
Yeah, it was
a truck, yes. And,
He works nights. And we actually moved him from the Bluegrass building, where on the weekends he was blocking Kenny, so we had to move him, so he just moved over here.
okay, I was just told that it was there for a long, 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 long time.
It appears that way, but no, he drives it
And-
every day.
But, right, but when there's no parking, I mean, doesn't he have to comply to?
He's supposed to,
Okay. Okay.
that's.
I just
that's all I'm
thought it was
saying, but
maybe
I-
someone just
I can
storing their
tell you this,
vehicle.
That, Clarence's building, his apartment's over
Mm-hmm.
here, there's absolutely no parking. So his residents have nowhere to park.
Are his residents all those in that little, that you go straight up and that landing? Or is it just Donnie and that other, where Donnie lived and,
There's two on the upstairs on the left, if you're looking at the building. And then there's one on the bottom, and then two upstairs on the right.
They don't have parking in the back?
That's for the old Hummel and Plum building. So they have zero parking. Now, they could park from the alley east toward High Street, but I mean, that's about all we could do with it.
I guess I would have to question, are there supposed to be apartments in there?
That's way
I
beyond
mean,
me.
I'm just wondering, sorry.
That is because it's there now, it will stay there unless they want to turn it into something else. That's the problem that you'll have. So if the apartments are there today, it's because they're grandfathered in. per
Okay.
se. And so that would only change if they wanted to make it into a bar, or if they wanted to make it into a business. That would be the only time that would ever,
but they do still have to
Take your
adhere
question
to the
to the building and
2-hour
zoning, we can look at it
parking
further.
rules.
You bet.
Because
I'd be
that makes
happy
me
to-
feel bad.
I'd be happy to do so,
Yeah.
no problem.
Hey, Jack, on suspicious vehicles, is that mostly when six of them, some of them are abandoned sometimes, or somebody sitting in them?
That's a suspicious vehicle. That's when one of the deputies sees the car and thinks it shouldn't be where it's supposed to be. So he runs it just to make sure it checks
I
okay.
mean, okay, thank you.
What is the difference in unwanted guest?
Get them out of here.
I know.
It's very complicated.
A suspicious person and an unwanted guest. An unwanted guest is somebody that shows up at town hall, Courtney, and she's not wanted here, so that's an unwanted guest. Okay?
You need say no more. I
Now,
get it,
you know, the suspicious person is if somebody calls in and say, hey,
right.
there's a guy wandering around my street, I don't know who it is, never seen him. Can somebody come check him out? That's a suspicious person.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Courtney, I'm sorry I used you, but
I usually get.
we've had a few of those in town hall, correct? Okay. That's all I have. Anybody have anything else?
Thanks, Jack.
You're welcome.
Great job as
Thank
always.
you.
Seem to call me for some reason.
You're very simple.
Last one I had two bolts in his neck, so.
All right, do we have anything from the law director tonight? I was not made,
do
aw-
not.
I was not made aware of anything, so we'll do that, and we'll ask Ms. Vance. You're up, madam.
Please come to the microphone.
So I was asked to keep it short and sweet, so that's what I'll do.
Why is everybody looking at me?
Okay, so we did have what I consider a successful month on replacing some very tricky meters. And thanks to the county for helping us out. We've replaced a little over 10 meters. One of them, and you know, it took them quite some time. They were different than just going in for 10-minute things. Some of them, a couple of them were half a day job, and one of them we had to replace, and Jack will maybe call it if this ever happens again, but one of them was vandalized, so we had to get the vac truck out and, you know, spend a lot of dollars to get that completed. And, you know, nobody wins over that. I mean, so don't touch it. People aren't supposed to touch the pits, the lids, anything, any property that belongs to the village. Let's see, the delinquents are down. They're a little under $4,000, and I just really am thankful to council for hiring Stacy. She's been such a tremendous help, and plus I get to take some days off, which I'm really thankful for that. And I'm sure our residents are too, because sometimes I was getting a little bit cranky, so I was told. And
It's not me.
and there's a lot of nice people out there. Sometimes we seem to hear about the, you know, things that go wrong, and, you know, the people that speak up the most sometimes are, you know, the ones being negative, but there's so many nice residents out there. And I appreciate them very, very much, and I appreciate the council for, you know, your support as well.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Good work on.
Thank you, appreciate that. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
Do you know how many meters are left?
Yes.
Just a handful, hopefully, right?
Well, it's what you consider a handful.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's still, I believe, in the 30s.
Okay.
And it's constantly, I mean, there's ones that it seems like each billing cycle, there's some that go, you know, they start to go bad, and the batteries die after, you know, it hits around 10 years or so. So those are also included in the ones that we replace.
Yeah, so
Was the vandalism, somebody smashed the meter or something?
No, they actually, it appears they filled the pit with Quikrete. Yeah, and, you know, it still worked, but we didn't have the ability to shut it off any longer. So,
Yeah, for the public's benefit, we're replacing meters, like you said, for maintenance, just got maintenance to do on them, but also for government compliance, because we have to have up-to-date meters throughout the village. And so the guys have been doing a fantastic job of whittling these things down again and again and again and again. And we're coming down to the end of just the ones that are awful to try to figure out how to deal with. So hats off to them. They've done a great job.
yeah, they have. We couldn't do our jobs without them. I mean,
Nope.
we need it, you know, vice versa. I'm very thankful for them as well. So some of them that we have left will need somebody to come and locate lines so we can, you know, put the pits and new meters outside. So it's just, you know, it's time consuming, and we're getting them done. We'll get them done one way or the other.
Thanks for everything you're doing.
Well, thank you. Have a good evening.
All right, thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you.
All right, I don't believe we have, this is the off meeting for zoning and building, so
You got Mr. Byrne.
we'll move on to Mr. Byrne.
Please come to the mic, Tom. Please come to the mic.
Yes, Courtney.
Well, I had a couple complaints. Is the only reason why I keep saying that via email.
There's our
Thank you,
unwanted
Councilman
guest.
Drake. Members of council, we got some things coming up. Flushing of the hydrants will be done the week of the 24th, so that'll probably mean we'll have more hydrant
October?
issues when we start to throw those, the week of the 24th. And I'm meeting with Chief Taylor here on Friday, because we have that Halloween deal going on
towards the end of that week, and I just gotta make sure that he takes care of that, all that out there first and then moves on. We talked earlier about, we met with Alistair Reynolds he's a forester with the Department of Natural Resources, about becoming a Tree City USA, that designation. I've got most of the information right now, and we're ready to move on it. We've got to form a committee and then have council approve that committee. I checked on that, what you said, $2,500 entry fee. I don't remember that ever being brought up. What it is you take the amount of citizens here in the village, and you have to spend at least $2 per citizen on trees, whether that's trimming trees, whether that's planting new trees, mulching, what have you, but it's gonna be very easy for us to make that mark.
Yeah.
Because we'll take, that shouldn't be a problem at all.
I think the 2,500, now that I think about the whole meeting, was we needed to have that because we were gonna try to apply for that grant, and the minimum amount's 2,500, and you have to have matching funds. So that's
I don't remember,
what that
what was
was.
that grant for?
It's through whoever that gentleman works for, the Department of,
I'll check on that
Yeah.
again. That doesn't ring a bell with me, but I'll be attending the tree planting workshop up in Plain City on the 5th of October with, Jeff's gonna go up, and George and Aaron, and so that'll be good. It's a half-a-day workshop. I got to go to the Farm Science Review with Marcy last week. We worked a booth for the Chamber of Commerce. That went very well. This weekend went very well with the car show. Good attendance, I thought,
Great attendance.
and beautiful weather, so everything went well. Kind of sprinkled in the morning, but street repairs on Clevenger will be done this week, I hope. We had another water line break there this week and this past week. And so we got 2 repairs over there. We're gonna do one over at Nutrien, and then a sidewalk repair down by where all the trucks pull in for the steel place down there. Drove around with AJ Asphalt. We identified 11 potholes that I'll bring to the street committee once I get that quote. And I also met with that representative from Direct Mechanical on all our HVAC equipment. We've got some issues I'm very concerned about, so we'll be working on those. That one quote that one number that I gave you at our earlier meeting was a one-time cost to do everything, get everything up and ready for this coming winter. You can pretty much double that for next year if we bring them in 2 years, or 2 times a year. Normally it's 4 times a year, but I think we can get by with 2 times next year since we're doing one right now. So that's what I will recommend, but we'll see how that goes. Any questions?
I don't know why everybody's looking at me.
I'm just looking at you, I'm just.
Well, got all the money.
you're the money one.
No, I think, go ahead.
We're good?
Hey, Tom, on the projects then, was the water leak over here by Clevenger that you guys had, Dan, recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one we took care of. I think it was Thursday. All righty.
All right, anything else? Good deal. Thank you for your report tonight. All right. Suspicious person, you're up.
Okay, so council received their packets on Friday. Were there any questions? I didn't hear of any. Made by members or concerns. Again, the only thing I have to report, and Andy will probably talk about this in his finance committee, is that budget season is upon us. So, for the public, if you are interested in any of the budgets, we will be having them laid out on the glass table in the lobby. If you have any questions or concerns, everybody knows how to get a hold of me. Please, if anybody has any questions, let me know. I can walk you through it. But be looking at the website as well, is that we will probably have some work sessions. I know we'll have some finance committee meetings. Look at some of those schedules in the next coming weeks about those changes, because they've been made too, to some of those committee meetings too. not just finance, but others. So if I don't have any other questions here, mine's pretty straightforward. If we could just take a motion to accept the appropriation status report, the revenue status report, the receipt listing report, the payment listing report, the comparison of budget and appropriated report, the cash summary by fund report, and the reader report.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion?
Becky?
I'll make it.
Okay, seconded by Bill.
Bill?
Yep.
Okay. Bill?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
And David?
Yes.
We're getting there.
All right.
We're getting there. We're
I'll
getting
be
there.
circulating for your signatures around as well, if you could.
Good?
Yes.
All right.
And I would ask, okay, I'll get to that when we get to the ordinance.
Okay. All right, finance report, the only thing I would have is to sort of add a little bit of color. So we did have a meeting directly in advance of this one tonight to discuss was essentially our path for leaving fiscal oversight. And that is a really big deal. One of the steps on that path for the auditors to leave the building is to get a budget together, a fiscal forecast for the general fund for next year, and in theory, so years beyond that. That is added to the business tonight, so I'm looking forward to getting that over to them. Thank you. And that's a big deal. This has been, it'll be 6 years in the making next year. Next year will be our first year not under fiscal, in theory, if we all leave, knock on wood, you see that on video, without oversight. And that's a huge, huge deal. So I'm looking forward to getting that taken care of. Other than that, we keep watch, again, on the numbers that are coming in, making sure that everything is what it's supposed to be doing. So, other than that, I have no other things to report. And I will say, though, that our next meeting is at October 5th at 3:30 p.m.
If you guys still have it.
If we
can
still,
Joyce.
right, oh, that's correct, sorry. So pay attention, we may have to move things around a little bit, to pay attention to the website, we'll make a decision on that here very shortly. All right, Pleasant Township.
Oh, and on Pleasant Township, we have our next meeting October 3rd at 7 o'clock.
Squad?
Nothing new really to report. We had a medic resign. They were going back to school to get their medic certificate. However, we were able to cover the position with another, I believe it was a part-timer, was able to step up and cover their shift. We paid the bills, and I passed along the information from the presentation that we had about mental health from our previous meeting, because there was a lot of free programs in there for first responders, onto Chief Taylor. And that's it.
All right, great news. Fire.
I have nothing to report. Our next meeting is this coming Thursday at 8:30 p.m.
All right, we'll take it. Water, wastewater.
Oh, our next meeting, we didn't have a meeting last month, so we will have one October the 5th at 2:30. And until then, yeah, nothing.
Okay. Streets, I met with a resident about placing stop signs on High Street. We're gonna work with Tom to see where to put those and how those can best be put in. Council's already approved everything, so we should be able to move forward. One of the challenges has been traffic during our festivals and during, when, certain businesses are operating. Sometimes on the weekends, there's parking issues as well. So, continuing to meet with the residents there to make sure that we're doing what we can, and stop signs, we should be able to get out. I don't see any reason why we should, sit on that. We should just keep going and see if we can't shake up the traffic pattern a little bit and slow some things down on High Street. So, more to come on that, but don't be, surprised if we change the traffic pattern out there. There is some speeding, so we need to get that under control. Our next streets meeting will be October 5th at 8 a.m. Parks and Recs.
Yep. Our next meeting, I'll start out with that, is October the 5th at 6 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock this month. And because you're not having a meeting, correct? at
Correct.
6? Okay. So we're going to take that 6 o'clock slot to make an earlier evening of it. I do want to invite you, Adam, to our Parks and Rec meeting. You're president of the Youth League, and I know it's not your busy season, but we have a spot for you on our committee, the president of the Youth League, so please join us if you'd like. And we are hoping by then, I know Tom explained earlier, we had Stephen out from our engineering company, and he flew a drone. You might even saw it in the paper. He was supposed to have our pictures together, and we were going to start a layout of our future park plans, but unfortunately we're having trouble opening those pictures, so hopefully that gets straightened out soon and we make some progress. But Parks and Rec Committee has a lot of really exciting things on the horizon, so yeah, we'll just take that as it comes.
All right, good report. Record retention, we met on Friday, I think it's September the 9th, and more results, so you can, if you're in Town Hall, you can see some of the stuff that we've gone through. We have not met subsequent to that, so our next meeting will be on Friday, October 7th at 8 a.m. Okay, nuisance and abasement. Joyce?
Thank you. We met on the 12th of September, and our next meeting will actually be October 10th at 6 o'clock. That will be before the next council meeting. So the last meeting that we had was well attended, and we discussed all of the violations that we'd been dealing with, and I'm very pleased to say that as of today, we have 4 that I know of. Tags will be delivered, I think tomorrow, maybe, on the 4 that we have. By the way,
Put that on your list.
you'll notice on the back of the tags, we have the ordinances, in case anyone has any questions about why they're getting tagged, be it for whatever reason. Should be on the back of the, unless it's for noxious weeds, and we know what those are. So those will be distributed out. So I wanna kudos to all of the residents in the village that have heeded the phone calls and understood why we're doing what we're doing. It's just not to beat people up, it's to beautify our village. And we will continue on. The next meeting, we will be discussing how does nuisance have, things to do in the winter, which would be snow removal of sidewalks and such. So we don't get a break. We still have to do stuff. So, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call in here to Town Hall, and your question will be forwarded to either Courtney or myself, and we will get back to you. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Great report. Safety Block Watch, Bill?
We haven't had another meeting since the last time I reported, but the next meeting will be October 4th at 7 PM.
All right. Planning and zoning, we actually haven't also met, and our meeting has been canceled tomorrow because we don't have any business pending. So trying to be efficient here, so that's pretty good. Our next meeting will be in 2 weeks then, and I don't have that date handy.
It'd be the last Tuesday, it'd be the 4th Tuesday of each month.
Fourth
So-
Tuesday of each month, sorry, thank you. So watch the website for that update,
October
and
25th?
we'll go from there. All right, that takes us to ordinances and resolutions.
Okay, we have an ordinance. The first one is ordinance 2022-14. An ordinance to amend the village's fee schedule in sections 1242 of the village's codified ordinance. This is placed on the second reading.
Can I have a roll call vote, or is there a motion?
I give you that motion.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Rob, David,
Roll call vote, please.
Joyce,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes?
David,
Yes.
and Bill.
Yes.
Passed on the second reading.
All right.
The next ordinance is ordinance 2022-15. an ordinance adopting a general contract registration policy, and this is on the second reading.
Can I have a motion for that?
I'll
Have
give
that
you-
motion.
All right, I'm hearing two and two.
David and Rob?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, roll call. Becky?
No.
Rob?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
And this is passed on the second reading. Ordinance 2022-16, an ordinance enacting section 1271.11 of the private swimming pool regulations. This is on the second reading.
Can I have a motion?
You have that motion?
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right,
Joyce, Bill,
roll call.
Rob,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
Ordinance 2022-16 is passed on the second reading.
Okay, and then we have,
And then we have ordinance, this is the amended ordinance.
Mhm.
This is ordinance 2022-17. This is an ordinance accepting the financial termination forecast for the planning and budgeting due to the financial and fiscal emergency, and this declaring as an emergency.
Have that motion.
okay, there's a second.
Second.
All right. We're gonna-
Okay, but this is to suspend the
To
rules.
suspend the rules, right. So,
David,
roll call
Joyce?
vote, please. Mm-hmm.
Okay, David,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
and Andy.
Yes.
Okay, the next one is to place this on the first, second, third reading for ordinance 2022-17.
I'll give you that motion.
Thank you, Rob. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, Bill?
Rob, Bill. Bill,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David.
Yes.
And the last portion of this ordinance would be a motion for passage of ordinance 2022-17.
You have that motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you.
David, Joyce,
Mm-hmm.
Joyce,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
and Bill.
Yes.
Okay, so ordinance 2022-17 has passed as an emergency.
Okay.
Just an FYI, after the meeting, I will have something for you guys to sign so that it could be sent to the auditors. So just, if you would, just hang around for a second.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we are on to the last piece of legislation, and this is a resolution. This is Resolution 2022-6, a resolution authorizing the mayor to apply for, accept, and enter into an Ohio EPA water supply revolving loan account agreement on behalf of the village of Sterling for the design of the 150,000-gallon elevated storage facility project and designated a dedicated repayment source of loan financing. This is on the third reading.
You have that motion?
Thank you.
I'll
Is there a
second it.
Thank you, Rob.
Joyce, Rob?
Mhm.
Roll call. Andy?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
And Rob?
Yes.
And we'll need a motion for passage.
I'll give you that
Have that
motion.
motion.
Oh, thank you.
I'll take Rob first. David?
Yep.
Okay, roll call. David?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
And Andy?
Yes.
Resolution 2022-06 has passed.
All right. No other pending business tonight, so we moved to roundtable.
I really enjoyed the car show they had. It's hard to believe. I remember a lot of them cars were sitting on the lot, so that's how old I am. But it was so fun and seeing so many people in the village, and it reminded me of the old days. There's people's having a good time, good old 60s rock and roll playing. Just was a good feeling.
It was a great weather,
Yeah.
great attendance. Hopefully it happens again. So
Yeah, it
great
was a
stuff
great
all the way
event.
around. I have one announcement. The Home Energy Assistance Program, HEAP, some folks have taken advantage of that. Now is the time to apply. Not later. Do not wait until the middle of winter to apply. Start the application process now. The payments kick in January. You have to meet some criteria, but a lot of folks get helped by it, and energy's going up. So if you want to know how to apply, either call us at Town Hall. We don't administer it, but it's through the state of Ohio. Or you can go out to development.ohio.gov, and they have a link that says HEAP, and you can apply online. So please, please, please consider doing that. We've talked about utility assistance before. County has some. HEAP is kicking in with colder weather. It's pumpkin spice time, you know, cold weather, and leaves are turning. So get that application in. You'll need it right now, not later. So that's all I got on that one.
Can you add that link to the website?
Absolutely. We'll take a look at that. Mm-hmm.
I would just like to, once again, thank everyone for all that they're doing to keep their lawns mowed and manicured and making this a nice place to even just drive through. I really appreciate everyone's help with that. We're proud of our village, and with all of the plans that we have with the park and with the infrastructure being fixed, it's going to be an exciting place to be going forward.
And if I may expand on what Becky had said earlier with inviting the president of the Youth League to our Parks and Rec meetings, they're open to anybody that is passionate about the park, wants to see positive growth. And we need the community's input and insight and what they would like to see as well. More hands make less work. So feel free to come to any of our meetings and be heard. Give your input, please.
Yes.
A great reminder. Anything else tonight?
I have just a little, yeah, the street market and car show is awesome, and our plans are to, that be our, expand it like that once a year to do that. But we do have more events coming up. The haunted house, as Mr. Corbin came in and spoke last meeting, has been expanded, and there's gonna be a lot more, and they need a lot of volunteers. I know there's a little article in the paper about it, but if you're interested in volunteering, you can call Town Hall or get a hold of council members, and we'll direct you to where you need to go. To have fun events like that, that's the thing, is we're always looking for volunteers. And I know it's sometimes a little bit of an inconvenience driving around the big loop of the middle of town, but it sure does feel good to walk around town and see all those people enjoying and helping entrepreneurs get their businesses started and different things like that. So it's just a win-win all the way around. But I do want to mention that trick or treat coming up, and I'll mention it again, or the Halloween event. It's going to be free again, the haunted house, and it's expanded. If you didn't hear Tom speak last meeting, so it's going to be really exciting, and we're adding a lot of things to it. And you know, if you're interested, like Rob just said, we're always looking for more people to help with things. But we do have a Chamber of Commerce meeting the first Thursday or second Thursday of the month, and we're looking for volunteers always and ideas. So our Chamber of Commerce meeting is Thursday the 13th of October at 5 o'clock, and it'll be right here at Town Hall. It's open to anyone to come and listen and share ideas, so we welcome you to that as well.
All right. Anything else for roundtable? All right. Well, hearing nothing, I think that's it for tonight. Thank you, and we are adjourned.
And again, just as a reminder, on the website, tomorrow's special meeting has been
Has
canceled.
been canceled.
But I'll take it off the website.
Right.
You know, I was on the website a couple weeks ago. I don't think current council's updated. the
Oh, it's
numbers.
not? Oh, jeez. I'll tell somebody. I don't even know who updates it nowadays.